From dropping some of the most memorable one-liners,
I graduated high school at 16. I am very knowledged.
You know, you ain't used to that kind of intelligence.
to absolutely acting extremely delusional on camera.
And I think I'm having a heart attack.
You don't look like you are. Now you do.
These are the funniest My 600-Pound Life moments, starting with Shenee Marie, who made her on-screen appearance in the 13th episode of the 6th season. And from the start of her episode, fans already knew she was going to be a handful.
How much time do you spend in the shower? 2 hours, right?
Not every single day.
Okay, but not every day, but you do, right?
Sometimes. From time to time.
When have you did that on me?
Plenty of times.
You ain't never did it.
Yes, I have.
Freddie, when?
Shenee, can we please
When? Answer my question.
We really ain't got time for that right now.
When, Freddie?
I'm about to have a breakdown right now. I'm trying to keep everything cool. I ain't trying to go here with you today. Can we just please just do what we need to do? It's been a little while, all right? Not that long.
But I'm always taking care of you.
And I take care of you too.
Freddie.
Despite her husband, Freddie's best efforts, he never seemed to do anything right. At least that was how Shenee saw it. Nonetheless, he remained by her side and was with her at the clinic when Dr. Now asked her to lose at least 30 pounds before their next appointment. She didn't and refused to take accountability when she returned to the hospital for her next appointment.
You were supposed to lose 30 pounds in a month. And instead, you're at 693, and that is a 28-pound weight gain.
Yeah.
So you want to explain to me how this happened?
I have a lot of fluid in my legs.
Can you try something
swelling.
else? Because I heard that one 1,000 times. Fluid is not adding to your weight gain.
There was no way on earth that the fluid in her legs was the reason she hadn't lost any weight, and everyone knew it. Yet Dr. Now pardoned her excuse and asked her to lose 30 pounds before her next appointment. The only problem was that Shenee didn't realize how much effort she needed to put in if she was going to lose any weight at all. And as a result, by the time she came in for another appointment, she had gained even more weight and found a way to get admitted into the hospital.
But she's taking 5 times the safe amount to try and force a lot of weight loss. So once again, she's trying to find a quick fix.
To make matters worse, she began sneaking in junk food while admitted at the hospital and maintaining her supposed water gain excuse, leading to another hilarious interaction with the doctor.
Hey, doctor.
Hey, Shenee, see what I found.
Freddie.
What about Freddie?
That belongs to Freddie.
Shenee, the lying need to stop now. Okay, Shenee, here's the situation.
Okay.
For 4 months, I have seen you from day one. You haven't lost any weight. Plus, the hospital staff not only seen you eating pizza, but burgers, and then you smart enough not to throw it your own trash, throw it in somebody else's trash.
Nothing the doctor was saying made any sense to Shenee. Although she had been caught sneaking in all sorts of junk food that were against her regimen, Dr. Now gave her another chance to lose weight if she was going to qualify for surgery. But there was only one problem. Shenee did not want to do any real work, and after missing her next appointment, she received a call from Dr. Now, one that went down as one of the funniest moments in the whole series.
Because you know you have been overeating again, and you probably haven't lost any weight.
Yeah, I probably haven't lost weight. Yes, you're right. But I just literally got into this place. I haven't had time to start eating healthy. I haven't had time to do anything.
There is no excuse for you eating as much as you do.
I don't eat that much, but I do have water gain. And you tried to say, no, that is not fluid, but it is. I know my body. I've been in this body for 28 years.
Shenee, you've been in that body for 28 years, but
I've been practicing medicine for twice that amount of time, and I know what I'm talking about. Your weight is not a result of water, it is a result of fat.
okay?
It was typical of Shenee to avoid accountability, but no matter how much she said it, there was no way her weight was the result of the fluid in her body. Yet as the conversation went on, Shenee would drop that one
your bad behavior.
I don't have a bad behavior.
Yes, I believe in God. But what I'm saying is that God doesn't just magically take away the consequence of your bad choices. If you jump off a building, you're not going to see his hand magically reaching down to save you.
Oh, yes, he will. Yes, he will.
As delusional as she sounds, she somehow took things to the next level with what she said next.
You're not the only doctor. Sorry to tell you, Dr. Nazardin. That also helps with weight loss. There is a lot of doctors that does. Yes, you might be a good one, but there's nobody in this world that's great and that's perfect.
Shenee didn't realize that she was ruining her health by not losing weight, but after being called out by Dr. Now, all of a sudden, her life is important, and she doesn't trust him now. However, after the phone call, what she said cemented her overall personality and the whole episode as one of the funniest of all.
I went to college.
Simple yes and a
I
simple no.
graduated college. I graduated high school at 16. I am very knowledgeable.
You know, you ain't used to that kind of intelligence.
You cannot tell me everything is because I eat.
Shenee was as delusional as they came, and by the end of her conversation with Dr. Now, she had quit the program and decided to continue her weight loss journey by herself. Nonetheless, fans found her entire episode extremely funny. I'm literally watching Shenee's episode right now. She is so frustrating. Shenee's Do You Believe in God just gets more and more wild every time you watch it. At the very least, Shenee Marie isn't the most combative participant to ever appear on the show. That position probably goes to the next star, who entertained fans to no end. Stephen Assanti put out one of the most chaotic scenes ever seen on the show. In fact, when fans were asked who they thought had the funniest episode, the answers were always the same. Stephen and Justin Assanti, hands down. Watching Stephen spiral downwards and failing at every step was entertaining. The way he would casually ask the doctors for pain meds would make me laugh every time. This comment was talking about the time when Stephen was literally asking the doctor for meds instead of focusing on his weight loss regimen.
I do have a question though.
Yes.
I do need one more pain script though for my pain because I am in a lot of pain.
Your pain script went away when you called your dad to bring you food.
Stephen first appeared in a special doubleheader episode that aired in the 5th season, and from the first few minutes, it was obvious that the entire audience was in for a treat.
This looks really yummy.
Stephen weighed well over 700 pounds, was loud, and was obviously the more confrontational character among the pair. And before his episode even aired, he had been kicked out of multiple hospitals because he was always confrontational and disrespectful to all the nurses and doctors.
I am on a bedpan. I don't like that. I don't like her. You want to hang up? You son of a dog! I'm on the bedpan for a half an hour. I got piss all over my bed. The out of here.
Okay.
I need help. I'll call the cops. Don't with me, broad. Do not.
Unfortunately, it wasn't only the nurses and doctors who had been dealing with Stephen's arrogance. His younger brother, Justin, who also weighed over 600 pounds, had lived with Stephen all his life. He was literally the primary victim of Stephen's antics, a dynamic that became obvious during their time with Dr. Now.
I don't need help like this. Stephen does. So I'm not staying here and getting admitted to the hospital. Whatever happens, I'm going home tomorrow.
Now, where will my dad be if he was here?
Get out.
Huh?
Get out.
You want me to get out?
Get out.
All right. Well,
Get out.
why did you stay here?
Get out.
You should stay. Don't be an idiot. I'm going.
On another occasion, Stephen felt that he had been deprived of his nutrients and began berating the nurses at the hospital, forcing Dr. Now to intervene.
Seem like you have an issue getting along with hospital staff, and I'm not liking what I'm hearing.
At times, you know, I sometimes I get frustrated. I tell them, if I act like a kid, I want you to treat me like a kid.
How old are you?
I'm 33 years old.
So it's time for you to grow up.
Everybody has feelings.
Yeah, that's true. I'm glad you realize that.
And
Let me
people-
put it in plain thing. He came from up north, but this is Texas.
Yes, it is.
You're gonna have to shape up in Texas. and behave like people in here.
Although he was being dead serious, Dr. Now had dropped an absolute banger of a line, because asking a man-child to grow up was just one of those lines that could never be scripted. To no one's surprise, Steven refused to heed the doctor's warnings, ultimately forcing Dr. Now to kick him out of the hospital, only for Steven to start crying like a baby.
Can I please have another chance?
No. Your behavior at this point dictates that nobody can help you in here.
Please, I want to.
Steve, there is no room for negotiation in here. This is not going to be tolerated by anybody.
I'll do anything for another shot.
You want to help you don't abuse people around you. And you call your dad.
After getting kicked out of the hospital, Steven moved into his new apartment and, instead of focusing on his weight loss program, developed an addiction, scamming hospitals to get more pain meds. He began doing weird things. As a result, Dr. Now visited him at his home, hoping to talk some sense into him.
You're pulling your hair out.
Well, I'm not pulling it out like big, huge pieces, but they're like little strands that accumulate.
Most people just say they're pulling their hair out as an expression, but you actually do it.
Of course, viewers found his behavior absolutely hilarious. Dr. Now telling Steven Assanti to stop doing weird things? That's something I would never tell someone to their face, and I got so much vicarious pleasure out of it. Also love that Steven actually has to face consequences. At the end of the episode, Steven had just barely lost any weight and was back on track to becoming heavier than when he first started. But he had provided fans with so much entertainment that some even began calling for a show dedicated to just Steven. I feel like Steven should be given his own reality show, but every cent of his salary should be used to repay the millions upon millions that he's cost taxpayers over the years. They could also compensate with pizza to actually get him to participate. Steven couldn't care less about what everyone thought of him, just like this next star whose arrogance amused fans endlessly. Angie J's season 7 episode 19 appearance is regarded as one of the most entertaining train wreck episodes on the show, especially because of her wild character and manipulative behavior.
So you want me to leave my boyfriend, move to Texas, and be okay with that? Oh, here we go.
After manipulating her entire family to follow her on her very first appointment to see Dr. Now, Angie failed to keep up with Dr. Now's weight loss regimen and failed to meet the set target that the doctor had given her. Nonetheless, just like Shenee, she refused to take accountability and constantly put the blame on others.
Think about it, change your life, and stick with it, okay?
I want to, but it's just been hard because me and my husband separated after we left your office. He doesn't want to move to Texas, so he put me in a little bit of a financial issue, but I'm trying.
As convincing as she wanted to be, Angie wouldn't put in the work required to actually lose weight, even after the doctor gave her another chance and asked her to lose 100 pounds by the next time they saw each other. And by the time she went to check her weight at the facility Dr. Now had prepared for her, she hadn't lost as much weight as the doctor had wanted, leading to an intense and unintentionally funny conversation between Angie and Dr. Now.
So it looked like you almost lost 50 pounds, huh?
Yes.
All right, that's a little progress, but you're supposed to lose 100 pounds in 2 months, and on top of that, it's been 5 months since you were here. So at this point, you haven't shown me you're taking this seriously as you need. And I'm not approving you for anything today. Well, since you lost 50 pounds, we'll give you another chance to stick with your diet and try to lose another 50 pounds, okay?
Okay.
All right, Angie, you look like you're a little bit under the influence of a drug. Are you taking any medicine? Because you don't sound very normal.
I don't sound what?
You don't sound normal. Are you taking any new medication or anything else I should know about?
Am I taking medicine?
Yeah, are you taking any drugs or anything?
No.
Okay. Well, something is going on with you.
Okay.
She was obviously high at the weigh-in, and the doctor quickly noticed her slurred speech. As for their conversation regarding her weight, Angie refused to acknowledge that it was she who failed to meet her goal and began arguing with the doctor.
And let me remind you, because maybe you forgot, your weight loss was 50 pounds in 1 month, not 100 pounds, ever. Did you say that to me?
I definitely did. On my call with you 2 months ago, that was the goal I gave you. So either you forgot or you're too high on something to remember. But it's going on 6 months since we saw you. And this level of weight loss is unacceptable over that time. Losing less than 10 pounds a month is not going to be enough to save your life.
Okay. Well, if you expected me to lose 50 pounds every month for 6 months, I wouldn't need you.
What you seem to need is a calculator. Because losing 50 pounds a month for 6 months would have mean weight loss goal of 300 pounds. And that's not what I asked you to do.
Seeing as he wasn't making any headway with his patient, doctor now asked her not to come to Houston until she had lost at least 100 pounds. But his request fell on deaf ears, and within the next few weeks, Angie was at his hospital ready to unleash another unintentionally funny argument with the doctor.
In the past 2 months, you lost almost nothing. Just 9 pounds. So you want to explain to me why that is?
I'm going through a lot of changes right now. Bear with that.
Bruh.
Okay. But maybe you think you can argue your way out of that. Because you seem to think that's a solution to everything.
I'm not arguing. I'm just frustrated. I'm angry, as you can see.
You can tell yourself that, but this is behavior problem.
Yeah.
It's not anger.
Yeah, I have a behavior problem.
Try to convince yourself it is an emotional issue that is justified. You like to act like the whole world is unfair and you don't deserve your situation. So you want to give me attitude and act like this is unfair. Go right ahead. But the only person you're gonna hurt is yourself.
At the end of their conversation, doctor now decided to take a sample of her blood, only to discover that she was and had been using illegal substances, which was very bad for her health. As a result, he kicked her off program, bringing her less than impressive journey to an end. A journey that some viewers found pretty entertaining. Angela from last season was pretty entertaining, but her attitude was awful. Moving on from the aggressive Angie J, our next star on this list is one everybody loves to hate, the late, great James King. James made his on-screen debut in the 11th episode of the 5th season, weighing approximately 735 pounds and was heavily dependent on his girlfriend, daughter, and the entire neighborhood to get anything done.
So there are a couple of my friends that come to help.
What's up, old man?
Hey.
But I feel like I'm a burden because they all have to cater to me. And it shouldn't be like that.
Go.
No.
Whoa.
But I have no choice because I have to stay clean or things will get much worse for me.
Oh, easy, Lisa. I'm sorry.
Because I have cellulitis draining out of both legs so bad that I have fluid coming out all over.
Sorry.
And every time my legs strain, it's like I'm getting stung by a wasp or something.
You hurt my leg? Yeah, it's flat. Oh. Ow, my leg!
The episode had barely even started and James had dropped a line, albeit from excruciating pain, that would go down in my 600-pound life folklore. Of James's ow my legs set for all notifications on my phone. I'm also cracked up by ow my legs. He was such a big baby about everything that I didn't feel like he needed much sympathy. To the excitement of most fans, this would be James's last legendary line. After managing to get to Houston, Dr. Now was annoyed that James hadn't followed his strict regimen all the while he was back home, and admitted him to the hospital, partly to get him on the right track, but also to prove to him that it was his girlfriend who had been enabling him. After spending a few weeks at the hospital, James's weight was down to 685. But after getting discharged and returning home, James just couldn't resist the urge to indulge in all the wrong food.
Order me Chinese. Egg rolls and rice, fried rice.
I don't know about the rice, though.
That's what I want, though.
But rice is on that paper that we're not supposed to have.
It's fried.
It's still rice. Fried is
Well,
worse.
that's what I want. Food.
Got it. At least maybe that'll take care of your headache.
You gonna give me one little egg roll?
I gave you 2.
Oh.
Without even knowing it, James had unintentionally dropped another line that has continued to reverberate across the My 600-Pound Life community as one of the funniest things ever heard during an episode. Egg rolls are okay, they fried. I always repeat the lines out of the blue. Order me Chinese and give me one of them reg rolls for some reason. It just cracks me up.
Man, I gotta save room for my dessert.
It's good for a change. I just hope this doesn't set you back.
I don't think it'll set me back because I'm just gonna have to exercise more, double up.
Cool. Do you want some dessert?
Yeah. Life is meant to be enjoyed, so I just had to find a balance between the things I enjoy and what I need to do.
The reality was, James hadn't really done anything to mess up, but he was unable to follow through with Dr. Now's instructions and eventually quit the program after gaining back all the weight he had initially lost. Although he sadly lost his life a few years later, his episode is very much remembered for its unforgettably hilarious moments. James K was the first episode where I really was like, what is wrong with this guy? I think it was the first time I felt contempt for a patient. I relive that experience from time to time. He never ceases to amaze. James K. So many quotes, and watching their ineptitude just works me up. Unlike James King, who didn't have the right kind of support to change his life, the next character had her entire family rooting for her, but she made a series of hilariously bad decisions that got fans rolling on the floor. Appearing in the 12th episode of the 10th season, Dolly Martinez episode stood out for many reasons, with one of them being how unexpectedly funny most of the episode was.
A few years after my dad left, my mom decided she was lesbian. My mom's someone that says that she's lesbian, but I swear to you that she's bisexual. Whatever her orientation is, my mom being a lesbian was traumatic because kids would make fun of me and call me a lesbian, saying, well, Dolly, if your mom's that, you're just a fat, awkward lesbian.
Eventually, Dolly realized it was time to turn her life around and went to see Dr. Now for help. It was supposed to be a simple get-to-know-you with a doctor, but it ended up being much more hilarious than it was supposed to be.
Do you have any swelling in your feet?
Yes.
Just watch, you can't wear anything but house shoes.
And this big apron of fat that you got hanging in your stomach, how long you had that?
A few years.
Okay, all right.
It's not just this in between my legs. It's,
What do they call it? A fupa?
I guess they call it a fupa nowadays. I don't know if you've heard that term.
Well, you know, that's where your body is trying to store some fat here and there. Ran out of the places, it's gonna store it over there too.
The fact that she thought the doctor didn't know what a fupa was made a few fans giggle, with one writing, imagine telling a professional doctor of medicine that you have a fat upper area. I had to pause the episode and just soak that in for a moment or so. Also, I love that Dr. Now just replied something like, yeah, you're going to gain weight in that area just like anywhere else. Nonetheless, Dolly consistently failed to meet her weight loss goals, disappointing both herself and the doctor. And when she returned for her next appointment, she had lost only 17 pounds, a far cry from what the doctor had ordered. Yet, he would give her another chance. The only problem was that Dolly was slowly losing motivation. And once that happened, it became much more difficult to follow her diet, and she started blaming her failure on her mom, who had been strict with her diet the entire time.
And it feels unfair that I have this problem, but I don't blame the ducks. I just feel trapped with my mom. So recently, my ex-husband has been asking me to come back and live with him again. And I started to consider it as a possibility. I know that he was abusive and toxic, but I can't help but feeling that my mom is pretty unhealthy for me right now, too.
After her moment with the ducks, Dolly decided that enough was enough and moved out of her mom's place. She then moved back in with her ex, despite knowing that he had married someone else, whom she hilariously called sister wife.
Since I moved out of my mom's house, I'm feeling great. It was my choice, not hers. I decided to do it on my own. The biggest thing is, you know, I'm now with my husband now. Me and my mom had an argument, and I decided I wasn't gonna go home, and instead I went to a homeless shelter overnight. The next day, sister wife got a hold of me, and she said to get a hold of him, so I did. I video chatted with him, and I saw his face again, and his smile. I fell in love with him again, all over again, just from seeing him on video and on the phone and hearing his voice and his laugh.
Unfortunately, that love affair did not last very long. Within weeks of the reunion, her ex threw her out, and once again, she had nowhere to live. So she found a new boyfriend at a homeless shelter, no less, and moved in with him.
And so we found this place online, and what it is, it's like a bunch of people all living there, but everybody has their own room.
Ready, baby?
And it's cheap. And all we had to do was pay the first month to get in. And it comes with a bed and stuff like that. So it's perfect for us. So I'm excited because I'm checking the boxes Dr. Now needs me to check. So I think when I get there, I'm where I need to be.
Because of how delusional she'd become, Dolly hadn't realized that all this jumping around completely derailed her weight loss program, simply because she wanted freedom to eat whatever she wanted. In the end, she failed to lose enough weight to qualify for surgery, hurting her mother and disappointing herself in the process. Fortunately, she had entertained the fans to no end, and they were happy to share their opinions online. When Dolly was feeding the ducks, there was a monologue saying how she was jealous that they could just eat whatever they wanted. Dolly's entire episode was unintentionally hilarious. From sister-wife to getting kicked out of a trap house in 12 hours, it was a journey. After Dolly's episode, fans were asked who they thought was the funniest character in the series. And apart from Stevens, another name kept appearing in the replies. For me, it's Maya. She was so freaking entitled, rude, and annoying. She was a huge baby. Maya, for being a real-life female Eric Cartman. Appearing in Season 7, Episode 8, Maya Rodanovic is regarded as one of the most entertaining characters to ever grace the show. At the very beginning of her episode, her relationship with her boyfriend quickly took center stage, and fans knew they were in for a treat.
I need my phone, please.
Where's your phone?
In my purse. I need to check my flight.
Where's your purse?
Christian? Really?
I don't know where your purse is.
Get off your phone.
I don't know where your purse is.
Be a part of this.
Where the is your purse? Your
It's
purse
right
is
next to you. I left it right next to you.
Your purse is not right here. Here.
The episode had barely begun, but fans already had this to say. Christian seemed like a really nice, patient person. Maya's behavior was horrid. She was so lucky to have found someone willing to put up with her. After reaching out to Dr. Now for help, Maya and Christian were on their way to Houston, but their journey down would be riddled with constant fights and the occasional tantrums that came with dealing with someone like Maya.
I may not even be able to fit if it's too small. Ow.
Are you gonna fit?
Oh, Christian. No, I can't get up.
Okay, hold on. Don't stress. Worst thing you can do is freak out.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
Don't be scared.
Please.
Come on.
Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Help me.
What?
Just, yeah, please. Oh, I can't. Hang on. I can't. I have to go down. I can't. Let go.
Okay.
Christian.
Yeah, what do you need?
Please. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Why are you crying?
Because that was really hard and embarrassing.
With so many already hate watching because of her constant bickering, very few fans sympathize with her struggle, with one comment saying, "All her crying seemed fake to me. I think she just pretended to cry so she could paint herself as a victim." Nonetheless, Maya was determined to change her life for the better, and after only 2 months of consistent effort, she lost enough weight to be approved for surgery. Unfortunately, with just a few weeks to her surgery, Maya's determination suddenly waned, and her progress stalled. As a result, Dr. Now canceled the surgery, sending Maya into a meltdown and giving fans some hilarious content in the process.
And now I have a whole nother month of I have to do. This is your fault. Oh, you haven't lost that much. Yeah. Because of the stress of you treating me like this. I'm about to melt down. Doctor Now asked you a simple question.
I've answered questions in the past. I could take a day off.
I hate you. I hate you for doing this to me, Christian. Why can't you just answer the questions?
As if blaming her boyfriend for her failure was going to make any difference, Maya decided to call her mom and complain about how bad a boyfriend Christian was.
No, you do not have the right when it comes to my life. Mom, Christian's everything up at the doctor's office.
I'm gonna stop it up.
No, Mom! Mom! I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. He's with my life. Yes, Mom, he's... Yes, here, my mom wants to talk to you.
I don't want to talk to you.
Talk to my mom, Christian, please.
No.
Please talk to my mom. Look, Christian, Mom, put it on, it's on speakerphone. Do not hang up on my mom.
Okay.
Her entire outburst was already funny as is, but the icing on the cake would be how, despite all his efforts not to, Christian would just stand there and listen to Maya's mother give him more unsolicited advice.
I don't see why we're having issues now. I know you've gone way above and beyond, and I know living with Maya, I'm sure it's not easy. But if you could just cooperate a little bit longer, I don't see how it's going to hurt you, and it will benefit her. And as a person, wouldn't you help somebody on the street?
Nope. Nobody helped me when I was on the street. You gotta do it on your own.
I understand if you don't want to continue with the relationship, but if you could just get her through until she has her surgery date.
It's your fault. You've done this, Christian. Nobody else.
This was the last straw for Christian, and after the fight, he was on the next bus home. With Christian gone, Maya completely lost her desire to turn her life around, and by the end of her 8-month-long journey, Maya had not done the surgery she once qualified for and eventually quit the program. Although her episode had been unintentionally hilarious, it was the way she blamed her boyfriend for everything that fans love to make fun of. I cannot believe that as a grown woman, she called her mom to tell him to stay in a relationship with her. She has the audacity to blame him for her weight gain. Donut hang up on my mom. She even added food to her vocabulary. Apart from Maya, fans also found this next participant's antics unintentionally funny. Joyce Delvasco made her on-screen debut in the 7th episode of the 8th season, weighing approximately 760 pounds, and managed to find a way to entertain fans whenever she had a conversation with Dr. Now. During one of their first interactions, Dr. Now tried encouraging her to start doing her exercises, while warning her about the effect of not following his instructions.
All right, you feel okay?
Uh-huh. You gave me a little workout with my legs, but I'm doing good.
Well, that's the whole idea. You know you are 4'11". For your height, you should be under 100 pounds. So you still have 500 pounds to lose before you hit your goal. And that's not going to be easy to do. But if you do what you need, then we'll be able to get you to that point, okay?
Thank you for helping me.
Well, that's my job. But remember, all the hard work is going to come from you, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'll be back to see you again soon.
It was as if Dr. Now knew she didn't have the right motivation to actually get her weight down, and Joyce would ultimately prove him right the moment she got home from the hospital. As a result, she refused to go to the hospital for a follow-up appointment, claiming she needed a medic unit to bring her in. Of course, Dr. Now knew this could only mean one thing.
All home cooked, low fat, low carb, high protein food.
Low fat, low carb, by now you should have lost something. But that's clearly not the case, because you look like you have gained.
No, that's not true. I have lost weight, because I can feel it in a lot of ways. You know, my clothes fit better, and it's easier for me to sit up than it was when I left the hospital. So I know I'm making progress, but I may not have lost the amount of weight that I should be losing. But that's because I think the diet is wrong.
Bruh.
And 1,200 calories is still too much for me.
Joyce, you're delusional if you believe that. You think you're doing okay because you feel like your clothes are baggy. I can see you right now, and I can tell you have gained.
He was right, because by the time she was back at the hospital, she'd gained back almost all the weight she'd lost when she was at the hospital. But instead of admitting and taking accountability, Joyce remained delusional and even tried saying her weight was the result of water in her lymphedema.
Well, I've been doing everything I'm supposed to. And then actually with the eating habits, I've been doing really, really well. So I don't know, other than the fact that I'm putting on water with my lymphedema, like sitting and having it hang low and not have my legs up more frequently like I usually do.
So you say you gained 60 pounds of water on a car ride here because you're sitting up? That's not reality.
Honestly, I really don't know what else I can tell you, but it's the truth.
You want to believe whatever you want, but that's not going to change the fact that you are killing yourself.
As if their conversation could get any funnier, Joyce would fake an emergency just to get admitted to the hospital.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it back in the taxi like I did. The car ride was too much for me, and I think I need to go to the hospital. I mean, I just don't. I don't have the ability to walk. Like, I'm very dizzy, and I think I'm having a heart attack.
You don't look like you are. Bruh. Now you do. You want to go in the hospital?
Of course, there was no way the viewers wouldn't react to such blatant attempts at manipulating Dr. Now. She says she was having a heart attack. Dr. Now says, "You don't look like you're having a heart attack," so she immediately slumps down while slightly looking at him. Despite her best attempts at deceiving the doctor into caring for her at the hospital, Joyce ultimately failed to lose enough weight and did not qualify for weight loss surgery. At the very least, she managed to make it into the list of funniest moments from the show. Joyce never really put in any effort to lose weight during her episode, but somehow managed to entertain viewers by being genuinely hilarious. Just like this next star from the show. Lacy Buckingham appeared on the 5th episode of the 10th season and had ballooned to almost 600 pounds by the time she reached out to Dr. Now for help. Although she was as dependent on her caregiver as the others on this list, she still had the support of her boyfriend Ricky and his sister Sharon, who were willing to drive her to Houston. A journey filled with many unexpected funny moments.
And y'all all telling each other y'all love each other?
We do.
You can't fully know what love is yet.
When you have the connection, Sharon, when you got the connection, that's when you know it's real.
But you can't have a love.
Well, we're building our love every day. Every day we work on building our love.
That, you know what? I'll give you that. But at the same time, I want you guys to be aware of the fact that y'all don't really even know each other.
Lacy had only been dating her boyfriend for a month, but was convinced she had found the man of her dreams, something Sharon was still a bit skeptical about, especially considering that the man in question was her little brother.
Yeah, there's a gas station up there. Oh man, I'm getting sick. I have to go number 2. Oh, shark.
What in the is wrong with you?
Oh, I gotta get fast. And new pants.
So.
New pants! New pants!
Oh God, no!
Although Lacy didn't think it was funny, everyone else was laughing at how a full-grown adult couldn't hold it in, especially Sharon, who didn't care if she was hurting her brother's girlfriend.
She pooped herself and she was taking a fart, you know, like anybody does, and, well, it wasn't a fart. And so, I think she needs to get off the fast food for a little while.
Following a long and difficult journey, the trio finally made it to Houston. And after the appointment with Dr. Now, she was tasked with losing 50 pounds before their next appointment. It was supposed to be a simple task, and after struggling for the first month, Lacy missed her appointment and told no one about it. Without knowing, she had unintentionally put her relationship in jeopardy and would only realize it during the next drive to Houston. But first, she had to deal with being in the same car with Sharon.
Yeah, but what are you gonna tell this doctor, man? What if this doctor says, you know what, I'm not around, you're not taking it serious? What happens after that? Have you ever thought about that?
We talked about it.
Talked about what?
I already talked about it.
Oh my, what is wrong with you? Sometimes you're just so ugly. Not personally, just not looks-wise, but just your personality. It's just ugly sometimes. I don't get
No
you.
comment.
Good, don't comment. I don't even care.
I need a little minute. Sharon, can you grow up and stop picking on Stop picking on me all the time?
I ain't picking on you.
You're not perfect either.
I ain't perfect. I never said I was perfect. Not one time did I say I was perfect.
You call me fat.
You are.
You are too.
I never said I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I'm asking you real questions. My brother is gonna be down there with you.
I am so tired, Sharon.
You're tired. All you do is sit there. I've been doing all the work.
The stress of driving down to Houston was finally getting to everyone, and it would only worsen from this point.
Couldn't get there on, I think it was because he couldn't get there on get financial afford plane tickets or something. I don't remember.
Plane tickets are hella cheap right now.
Lacy was lying through her teeth, and everyone, the audience, Sharon, and even Ricky, knew it, and he would not forgive her for it.
Yeah, I know you love me, and I love you, but you still gotta tell the truth. If you lie a little bit, making sure if you lie, it ain't gonna hurt nobody. That's what I do. When I lie to you, it's more just to basically start a conversation.
The damage had already been done, and there was no going back. With just a few more hours left to get to Houston, Ricky decided to break up with Lacy right there and then, abandoning her in the middle of nowhere.
Woman, you don't even know what you just did.
In the end, her shattered relationship took its toll on her, and she wasn't able to make weight or qualify for weight loss surgery. Although it was a pretty sad ending to their relationship, it was also unintentionally funny, and fans still appreciate it to this day. The cereal cascading out of Lacy's U-Haul? I howled! I've seen Lacy B's episode over and over. I even put it on the background when I do other things. Just so many good lines.